कर दिया।
Jai Shri Ram, welcome all of you all for our weekly Ramayan class. So we are in the midst of the 8th Sarga of the Balkand, and let's have a fast recap of what we did last week before we go ahead. So yes, anyone remembers what we had discussed? We had
Yes,
completed 8.6, you said, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, fine. So anyone remembers some startling important points?
हाँ प्रभु जी।
Yeah.
दशरथ महाराज को चिंता थी कि उनका वंश आगे कैसे बढ़ेगा, और एक्चुअली इसका बैकग्राउंड ये था कि उनके पितरों का जो भी ये रहता है, हम लोग जो ये करते पिंडदान और बाकी सब प्रोसेस करते हैं, उसके लिए आगे के कोई नहीं था उनके फैमिली में. he had daughter, but she could not do the ritual. So
he was wanting to have a son so that he could do the Shraddha Karma and the progeny could continue, the dynasty to continue, so that for the coming generations, the ancestral, for the ancestors, the water of oblations could be offered. Very nice. And something more.
So he decides to do the Ashwamedhi Yagna.
So thinking was thought, okay, let's read from verse number 2 so that we get a fast, good recap and we can just go ahead.
Okay. Prabhuji, one second.
Yeah.
So thinking in that way, suddenly a thought came into his mind: why don't I perform an Ashwamedha Yagna, horse sacrifice, for the sake of a son?
Continue.
The wise and the righteous King Dashratha, after discussing with his knowledgeable ministers, decided in his mind to perform the Ashwamedha Yagna. He told Sumantra, the best of his ministers, to quickly get all the teachers and royal press.
So how come? Okay, complete the verse 6 also. Yeah. 5 and 6.
Sumantra, who was famous for his quickness, immediately left to fetch them all. He brought the sages Suyajna, Vamandev, Jabali, Kashyapa, the royal priest Vashishta, and others who were all experts in Vedas and the best of the Brahmanas.
Very good. So till this, in the main purport explanation which I have given for verse number 2, I have mentioned that why Dashratha, okay, theek hai, bachcha nahi tha, theek hai, but what was the need for him to go into a spiritual inclination, or rather not going for, Jadu Tona, going to some Baba? No, Dashrath Maharaj could have also thought. That's what people generally do, right? So what was the reason why Dashrath Maharaj thought this? I mentioned this. King Dashrath thought that maybe he did not have enough pious credits, punyas, in his account to have a son. Hence, to increase the pious credits, he wanted to perform the Ashwamedha Yagya. So basically, when one turns to spirituality, his pious credits, his punyas increase. And with increase in punyas, things which are not easily possible for anyone can become possible. Give a small story. What is the importance of punyas? Just for that, a sideline story from the Mahabharata I'd like to narrate over here. Once the Mahabharata war, when it was over, Dhritarashtra was alone left with all his 100 sons killed. So once he was having a talk with Krishna, and he knew Krishna is none other than Supreme God. So he asked Krishna, what mistake did I do? What sin did I do? In which birth I have committed a sin that I had to lose all my 100 sons? At least one could have saved, two could have saved, but I lost all my 100 sons. So tell me, what sin did I do? For that, Krishna says, okay, I'll give you the yogic power. Take this yogic power and go and see what you did, what you were 100 months before. So he goes this yogic power. There he sees the 110th birth or something before. He was hunter. A hunter to such an extent that he used to be a very cruel hunter. He used to put the net on the tree, and all the birds in the tree would get caught in the net immediately. So it so happened that one couple had got a couple of birds, had 100 young ones, young children, and he caught them in the net. And further, he lit a fire below the tree. The smoke from the fire made all the birds blind, and he himself, the birds themselves, all died. All the 100 birds died. So Krishna says, see, this is the sin you did, and everyone has to pay for the karmic reactions. We always try to run away from our karmic reactions. The karmic reaction is the only thing which keeps us on following us, and it never leaves you. It's like the CCTV camera always working on, whenever you're driving and all. Nowadays, little over speed limit, immediately the CCTV camera catches your photo and sends you a challan. So karma is not a challan. It is accumulated and then later on given as per the right time. And first thing, most important, which generally people have got this misunderstanding that, good karmas can cut bad karmas. No good karma can ever cut bad karmas. Good karmas have their own space. Bad karmas have their own space. Both have to be enjoyed or suffered as the case may be. So the question asked by Dhritarashtra over here, Krishna was, okay, I have done this crime, I have done this sin, I have done this bad karma, for which, why did you make me wait for 100 births? You could have given me the punishment in the very next birth itself. Why you made me wait for 100 births? And that time, Krishna says, I have no other option. First, you had to collect so much of punyas that you have 100 sons, and then undergo this suffering. So the purpose of telling the story over here is, what was the mindset of Dashrath Maharaj? He thought might be his sins are, his punyas are less. So he had done so much righteous things. He was fighting on behalf of the devatas. Everything he was doing, but still he had a feeling, he had a thought, might be I'm not having a son because I don't have enough punyas. So let me do an Ashwamedha Yagya, or let me do something, some spiritual act, some spiritual way by which I'll increase my punyas, which can finally result to me in a child. So let's go ahead and understand further. Yes, Mother, start from verse number 8. 7.
The righteous King Dashratha worshipped them on their arrival, following Dharma and Artha as per the scriptures. The king then spoke to them with these pleasing words.
So all the sages, all the priests, the the mentors, the holy heads, the royal priests, all were invited, and then Dashrath speaks to them. Yeah.
King Dashratha said to those sages, I am not happy, as my mind is always longing for a son. Hence, for the sake of a son, I wish to perform an Ashwamedha Yajna.
Continue.
King Dashratha continued, I desire to perform this horse sacrifice, which is in line with the Shastras. I request you all to kindly think of a plan as to how I can achieve my desire of having a son. Should I read the explanation?
Yeah, one minute. I'll just let me complete this explanation, and then you can read the explanation.
Okay.
So Dashratha saying, I desire to perform a horse sacrifice, Ashwamedha Yagya, which is in line with the Shastra. Shastra says, अगर 100 Ashwamedha Yagya अगर किसी ने successfully कर दिया, he is entitled to become a what?
Demigod. Devta.
Devata.
Indra,
Okay.
Indra.
Indra. The king of the Devatas. One who does 100 Ashwamedha Yagya, he is entitled to become the king of the Devatas. That means that much of punyas he can collect. So here he is saying, I am not interested in doing 100 Ashwamedha Yagya. I am planning to do one because I think I am some deficient of some punyas. So I will do it. And that is which is in line with the Shastras. So this line will be explained in the explanation in detail. I request all of you all to kindly think of a plan of how to achieve my desire of having the son. There are two things. One, he is saying, as per the Shastra, I want to do. So you all kindly think. You all kindly think of a plan of how to achieve my desire. Now read the explanation, you will understand.
Here we see that to fulfill his long-time desire, King Dashratha approaches his sincere spiritual teachers, Guru. So from the Ramayana, we get the message that if someone has a justified desire, like that of a Dashrath Maharaj, then one must go to a sincere spiritual teacher and reveal his desire to him. In general, the mind is very tricky and whimsical desires come into the mind. So to check whether the desire is justified or not, one must take the guidance of the proper Guru. Secondly, the remedies adopted by one to fulfill his desire should be in line with the Shastras and should be endorsed by the spiritual Guru. People even adopt wrong methods to fulfill their desires. They even approach a tantric and perform some black magic to fulfill the desire immaterial of whether the desire is justified or not. Such people lose their happiness and many times lose all their possessions also. Finally, they end up doing wrong karmas and eventually become more unhappy.
So what was the crux you could get from this? The most important, before you want to do anything in life, first and foremost, one should approach a guru. The problem is in Kali Yuga, 99% of the people don't want to have a guru. They themselves, they think they are smarter than the guru. That is the problem. But by the way, why is the Bhagavad Gita, all the Vedic scriptures pointing out on having a guru? What is the purpose of having? What is the benefit of having a guru? Or rather, why is so emphatic? When I can do my devotion sincerely without getting deviated, focused on God, why should I need a guru? Because the guru is also reading out the scriptures to us. He doesn't read anything special out of the box. So how do we understand that? In what context we understand that? First, yes, Puja Mataji, what do you think?
Prabhuji, the Guru guides us. He knows the knowledge of the Shastras and what is Dharma, what is right, what is wrong.
That's why I
So he
mentioned,
can properly guide us.
you may also read the Shastra and get the knowledge.
We may not have that much vast knowledge. No? Only the Brahmanas or the Gurus, they only have the in-depth knowledge.
No.
And plus, only the
Mind
Guru
you,
has
Guru is a person. I'll tell you honestly. Let's understand this a little bit. Guru is a person who is one amongst us only. He has also come from one amongst us, and then he has attained the state by his sincere efforts. So if you put your efforts, you will also come raise yourself to that position. That's not a problem. Anyhow, well tried, very well. But why again and again Guru? Again, what is the purpose? Purpose is very, very hidden. Let me see if anyone else can guess it out. One more chance. Let me see who can do it.
Prabhuji, he can guide us how to implement it because we read from the scriptures, but while implementing, we face a lot of difficulties. So,
Okay.
as you said, he have gone through that. He have achieved by slowly progressing. So he will help us in how to implement.
Good. Very good. That's one point. Very nice. But something more deeper. Why is this entire setup like this? You know, the whole setup is going like this. कि भाई आपको पहले भक्ति में इंटरेस्ट आते हैं, पहले गुरु होना चाहिए, गुरु का नीचे आपको भक्ति करना है, then you approach God. You can't approach God directly. Why this whole setup?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Prabhuji, we can read scriptures and everything, but right interpretation is important, I think.
Okay.
And Guru plays that vital role, who can actually interpret all the knowledge rightly, so that
Good.
we can walk on that path, or we can implement everything in
Well
a
said. Well said.
right direction.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. Very nice. Something more.
So you told Guha in that Shabri story, Guha.
हाँ, तो गुहा के मतलब गुरु के बगैर आपको ज्ञान नहीं मिलेगा,
ज्ञान नहीं मिला।
मतलब भगवान नहीं मिलेंगे। तो अरे ये रूल क्यों बनाया? माय क्वेश्चन इज, ऐसा क्यों रूल बनाया कि भाई?
Because maybe the guru has already self-realized and he knows God, and so he can वो हमें भगवान से मिला सकते हैं.
No.
मुझे ट्राई करूं?
हाँ, ट्राई करो. ओपन फॉर्म में, डोंट वरी.
स्क्रिप्चर्स रीड करने से हम लोगों को इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलती है, पर वो इन्फॉर्मेशन को अप्लाई कैसे करना है वो अपने छत्री
वही
में
दामिनी माता जी ने वही बोला ना, सेम थिंग दामिनी माता जी एंड इवन पूजा माता जी सेड. ओके, द शत्रुपा जानते. यस माता जी, प्लीज.
गुरु ने ऑलरेडी ऐसे शास्त्र पढ़ के उसके जिंदगी में वो रियलाइजेशन आ गया, तो रियलाइजेशन से तो भगवान के साथ का जो गुरु से जाना चाहिए.
रियलाइजेशन से गुरु के पास जाना चाहिए. ठीक है, फाइन, ठीक है, टू सम एक्सटेंट यस, आई एग्री टू दैट आल्सो. सी, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, God has given us one important tool, and that is free will. What is free will in Hindi?
स्वतंत्रता, थोड़ी सी स्वतंत्रता दी है.
स्वतंत्रता थोड़ी नहीं, अच्छी स्वतंत्रता दी. And people don't understand, free will is only with respect to God. You have no free will with respect to hunger. No, I'm free will. I will not eat, or I can eat 100 kgs. No, that's all limited. You don't have a free will to take extra breath or less breath. You don't have a free will for walking less or walking more. Anything in this earth, there is no free will. There is only one free will, and that is with respect to God. Whether you want to accept God or you don't want to accept God. Those who don't accept, they call themselves atheist. In fact, they also accept, but still they call themselves atheist or anti-God people. And the second category is God, God-loving people. So this free will is first to be surrendered to God. Okay, this free will has to be first surrendered to God. कि भाई भगवान, yes, आपके अलावा मुझे और कोई इच्छा नहीं, बस आप ही हो. You are all in all. Why I am saying this? Let's take this example of King Dashrath. He is a Chakravarti Raja. He's a Chakravarti Raja. All the other people are his subjects. All the Brahmanas, priests, royal priests, everyone are the subjects. He can easily tell me which is the right way. He can order, but still he is asking them, begging them. Why is he in that humble position? That is what Lord wants us to become. So before coming, it's like giving a simple example. A girl, and I'm talking of a little idealistic girl, and not today's girls, because nowadays girls don't enter the kitchen. They are good at booking food rather than cooking food. So they can cook the food on the app very nicely rather than cooking the food. So, but generally, parents always used to tell, especially to girls, अरे यहाँ सीख ले रोटी बनाना, सब्जी बनाना, तो वहां जाके शादी करके तू वहां जाएगी तो तकलीफ नहीं. Right? I mean, all of you will agree with me? हाँ, बोलते थे ना, ये बोलते हैं अभी भी, क्योंकि कुछ तो सीख ले, कम से कम पानी तो गैस पे रखना सीख ले, कुछ तो सीख ले, so that when you go get married and go there, you will not face any problem. Similarly, for us, if we are planning sincerely to go back to वैकुंठा, वो जो फ्री विल वहां देना है ना, वो वहां जाके नहीं देना, उसका प्रैक्टिस यही करना. You have to practice surrendering the free will in this very lifetime itself. And that also takes a couple of lifetime, because in one lifetime थोड़ा free will छोड़ेंगे, फिर थोड़ा ज्यादा, एक साथ नहीं छोड़ेंगे. So Guru means what? First and foremost, Guru means what? Like King Dashratha, humbly asking them. So first thing, what makes you? Guru makes you humble. And once you are humbled, you are entitled to go to Vaikuntha. Second, if you start surrendering your free will to Guru. Now let's say the Guru says, no, though it is as per Shastra, I say you should not do it. Dashrath Maharaj would say no, yes or no. He would simply accept their decision. Here is asking humbly, what should I do? How should I do? What is the method? Please tell us. Whereas these gurus, teachers, whatever you call them, they are going to guide you as per Shastra. They are not going to guide you against Shastra, but still they become the first practice for an individual to give up the free will as well as getting humble. ये दो चीज अगर नहीं है तो वहां जाके भी वैकुंठ में भी मालूम है कितना बड़ा भक्त है. मैं कितना भक्ति किया है बॉम्बे में, बहुत किया भक्ति. एकादशी उपवास भी रखा था. Because you are not humble. You try to glorify your whatever you do in the name of devotion, you glorify that. So to humble you, first thing is Guru. That's why you see Guru always chastises his students. है ना? Always keeps on chastising. Hey, why are you doing this? अरे गुरुजी को प्रभु जी को ये करूंगा तो भी प्रॉब्लम, नहीं करूंगा तो भी प्रॉब्लम. हर एंगल से प्रभु जी डांटते रहते हैं. अरे बाबा, that is his job. I always give this example, when you were in school, I'm talking of my day school, okay. Now the teacher used to have a scale in her hand. Nowadays you can't. In today's days you can't think about, but teacher used to have a scale in her hand. And I know any one boy's leg also comes out of the bench, one tap, go inside, put inside. So like, it's like rearing the herd of cattle. We used to be reared by the teacher. Why? The purpose was not to hit us. The purpose was to discipline us. Same way, the purpose of having some senior mentors, teacher in one's life is only and only for making us humble and making us prepare to hand over our free will. If we here learn to hand over our free will here in this earth to the spiritual master, then going over there to the Supreme Lord, that is Vaikuntha, there you can hand over your free will easily to God, or rather, you do not encash or redeem your free will. You say, no, I want to do what you like or what pleases you. That's a simple understanding. So, first and foremost, King Dashratha approached them and sincerely is asking. In general, mind is very tricky and whimsical. Desires come to the mind. And so to check whether the desire is justified or not, one must take the guidance of a proper guru. This is another reason why one should have a guru. In this material world, there are n number of desires will come. Even spiritual. I'm telling you, spiritual desires will come, but spiritual, whimsical spiritual desires. मैं ये करूँ तो कैसा रहेगा, मैं वो करूँ तो कैसा रहेगा, मैं ऐसा कुछ भक्ति करूँ तो मैं कल जाता हूँ, कल वृंदावन जाता हूँ 1 महीने के लिए, वहां जाके रहूंगा, भक्ति करूंगा, एकदम बरसाना का बाबा जी बनूंगा. No, you can't. Whimsical things don't work. Because each student has its own caliber, has his own limitations, and the spiritual master guides and pushes him or guides him to go in that path. some are good at book distribution. Okay, you do book distribution. Some are good at preaching. Okay, you do preaching. Some are good at arranging people for the class. Enrolling people, encouraging the people. Okay, you do that. And some people are like good. They're like that 5-star ad. Not doing anything. ठीक है, वो भी अच्छा है. कुछ भी न करने के लिए शुक्रिया. So it's like that. So please understand, this is how the whole spiritual system has been made, and that's how it is running. And it is not running from today. This system is there from time immemorial. Is there? Yes, Mataji, please continue.
The king, having thus said, all the Brahmanas, headed by Vashishta Muni, were pleased. They all praised the king by saying, well said, and honored the king in written.
They all were happy by this decision. So they have endorsed his decision. Another reason why these teachers or gurus are required to endorse your decision, and that is to make sure that your actions does not lead you to wrong karmas or bad karmas. कई बार क्या होते हैं, हम लोग कोई डिसीजन लेते हैं कोई एक्शन करने का, उसका लेने का देना पड़ सकता है. It may land up in the reverse reactions are doing bad karmas. So a teacher also makes a full stop to that. At least what you have done earlier is fine, but at least furthermore, don't incur sin. That's the basic idea. Yes, Mataji, continue.
With great happiness, all the Brahmanas said to King Dashratha, let all the required ingredients be arranged and let the sacrificial horse be released.
So this was the Brahmanas say, go. It was like that. Let all the ingredients be arranged. Dashrath ko bol diya bhai, arrange all the ingredients. There is a sloka in the Shastra. It's clearly say, which will come ahead. Ashwamedam Gavalambam Sanyasam Falapaitrikam Devarinona Sutotpatti Panchav Kala Vivarjitaha. So if anyone is planning to do a Ashwamedha Yagya, please don't do it. It is not allowed. It is Vivarjita. Varjita, it is totally prohibited in Kali Yuga. In earlier yugas, it used to be allowed. So here immediately the Brahmanas are saying, yes, we go ahead. Please arrange for the ingredients and release the horse. Now, what is this horse? This is Ashwa. Ashwa means horse. Ashwa. The purpose is this horse will travel all at its free will. And all the territory it goes through, various kingdoms, they all surrender to the main king. Otherwise, they will have to fight. So that is the system in which this Ashwamedha Yagya. Ashwamedha Yagya has two parts. One is to incur punyas and then to prove your superiority on your kingdom or on your entire empire. That is another reason for Ashwamedha. Please continue.
The Brahmanas further said, since you have thought of such a virtuous idea to fulfill your desire to have a son, your desire will be completely fulfilled. Set up a sacrificial ground on the northern bank of Sarayu River.
Continue.
Thus, having heard the words of the Brahmanas, King Dashratha, with his eyes filled with delight, spoke to his ministers. As directed by my spiritual teachers, gurus, arrange the ingredients for the Ashwamedha sacrifice.
He further continued the same thing. He also gave the same instruction to his people. Yeah.
The king further said, as directed by these great teachers, release the horse under the protection of able warriors. Prepare the sacrificial ground on the northern bank of Sharayu River. King Dashratha continued, as per the Kalpa and scriptural rules, it is possible to achieve by this Ashwamedha Yajna increasing peace and prosperity to all the earthly kings. However, it should be completed without committing any offenses in its procedure. If any offenses are committed during the sacrifice, then it results in great misery. Hence, all kings cannot perform it.
This is a very important star conditions apply. Everywhere there is a star condition apply. And this also there is a very big star condition, and that is impediments or offenses committed during the Ashwamedh. Please read the translation, explanation. It's a big explanation. Please.
Performing Vedic sacrifices to achieve a desired result comes under the Karma Kand category of the Vedas. Some various strict rules and regulations must be followed while executing a Karma Kand ritual. On committing even the smallest offense during its procedure or in reciting the mantras can deprive one of the desired results. It can also give great trouble to the performer of the ritual. These are the drawbacks of performing such a type of sacrifice. As regards the sacrificial killing of the animals, the commentaries given by Sri Ramanuj Acharya state that in the Agnishtoma and other sacrifices, no injury is caused to the animal which is sacrificed according to the Vedic Shastra. The goat or horse, after giving up this animal body, will attain heaven through the small miniature body made of gold which is used in sacrifice. Hence, the little pain experienced by the animal during the sacrificial procedure is like the operation done by a surgeon for curing a patient. The sacrifice of an animal is also used to confirm whether the sacrifice ritual has been conducted without any offenses. As mentioned in the verse, if any mistake is committed during the procedure, then the doer must incur the sin and undergo misery. The Varaha Purana states that.
1 minute. Let's understand this part first. See, there are first thing. First is Karma Kand. In Karma Kand, in devotion, the best part is, suppose someone has some problem and he cannot chant the name of Ram or Hare Krishna, he cannot chant. So, the Russians, if you see the Russians always, they say Hare Krishna. They will not say Hare Krishna. So, can we say, Hare, you're not saying the mantra pronouncing the mantra perfectly, so you will not get the benefit of it? No. In case of devotion, whether you chant Narsimha, you're saying Narsingha, Narsimha Dev, Narsinga Dev, Narsimho, whatever. There are various tones, you'll see in all around people chanting the same name in various ways. Even in Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ramo, Hare Rama, various ways. But the end result of all this is same. You will achieve God. You will achieve devotion. Whereas when it comes to Karma Kand, the pronunciation has to be perfect. When they were chanting a mantra to create what do you say? The pronunciation was a little longer once. So instead of Indri Hari, it's say Indri Ari. Instead of getting an enemy of Indra, he became defeated by Indra. This is, I'm telling of Vritrasur. So while chanting the mantra when Vritrasur was to be born, there was a small mistake in the pronunciation, and this happened. So the point is, whenever in Karma Kanda is happening, the meter has to be perfect, the pronunciation has to be perfect. If it is not perfect, it can result to wrong results or opposite results. अच्छा होने के जगह पे बुरा भी हो सकता है. Secondly, here we are talking about sacrifice. One may say, what a religion, how can you, especially animal lovers will come and say, oh, you are doing something wrong. Now, before a medicine comes to you, I think you all must be aware, it's tried on animals first. And then only it reaches human beings. Why it can't be given first to human beings? Now, if it has got a wrong reaction, let the animal die rather than a human being die. So basically, they are checkpoints. So here, in these type of Ashtayom, Homa, and all that yagyas, the animal is sacrificed, but there is a miniature gold or silver animal is made, a replica of it. And that, with that body of gold, an animal will go back to heaven. It will not go back to God, but it will go back to heaven and will enjoy a nice life. Secondly, this is one of the way in which one comes to know whether this yagya has been performed correctly or not. It is like, I don't know how many science students are here, but in science, where there is an experiment is done, there is something called last final test that is called a CT, confirmation test. When you do all the analysis and find out, this is the chemical or this is the end product. So how do you finally confirm it? So you confirm it by doing a CT, confirmation test. And by doing the confirmatory test, you come to know that what you have derived or what you have arrived at, the answer at which you arrived is correct or not. It may be smell, odor, taste, it may be n number of things. I mean, that chemical reactions, indicators, and everything are there. Similarly, how will you know whether this yagya, what has been performed, is correctly done or performed or executed? You will come to know only when the sacrifice achieves its desired results. So when the animal is cut, immediately, very next moment, it takes a new body. It may either take birth again or it will go to heaven. So in both cases, the animal is not at loss, but however, we come to know whether this homa has been or this yagya has been properly executed or not. Please go ahead. Read the translation. Violence.
Yeah. Purana states that violence done whimsically or for sense gratification will result in disaster and misery, but violence committed under the guidance of the Vedas will never result in any misery. Our Shastras also guide us on how certain things done in earlier yugas cannot be performed in the present Kali Yuga. The Brahma Vaivarta Purana states.
Same, I said, na, Ashwamedham Avalambam, Sannyasam
Yeah.
Valabhaitrikam, Devarenanu Sutotpati, Panchokala Vivarjita. Yeah.
5 acts that are forbidden in the Kali Yuga are offering of a horse in sacrifice, the offering of a cow in sacrifice, the acceptance of the order of sannyas, the offering of oblations of flesh to the forefathers, and begetting child from husband's younger brother.
Yes.
So we can see that the process of worshipping
Where
is different.
can you see all this? Do you know? Have any examples? Do you know the examples for this? Offering of a horse sacrifice that we know very much. This is Ashwamedh Yagya. Similarly, there is Go Yagya, where the cow is sacrificed also. Accepting the order of sannyas. It is said, forget about sannyas. There is no place for वानप्रस्थ. वानप्रस्थ के लिए वन में जाना पड़ा. आजकल वन का ही प्रॉब्लम है. वहां वन के जानवर भी परेशान है, वन नहीं है उनके लिए. What to talk about you and me? So there is no question of vanaprastha. So where is it a question of sannyas? It is said that if you do devotion sincerely, you don't have to take even the renounced order of sannyas. And last but not the least, offering oblations. Oblations of flesh. All of you know the story of Agastya, Vatapi. I'll tell you. Sage Agastya, in those days, this comes in Mahabharata. So, the Mahima of Sage Agastya, very powerful, one of the Saptarishis. So, he was in the forest. And the forest, there were two, Vatapi and Ilvala. Two Rakshasas were there. And they had a master plan. They used to love eating these sadhus. So, they used to go to a sadhu's house and tell them. Ilvala used to go and tell them, sir, tomorrow I got Shraddh in my house. Please come and have Shraddha ka bhojan. The sadhu would, yes, be happy. Yes, I'm invited, I'll go. The Brahmana used to go, the sadhu used to go, the sage used to go. And then Vatapi used to take the form of a goat. And his brother used to cut him, cook him. Because he was an asura, he had divine mystical powers. He used to cut him, cook him, and feed it to the Brahmana. The Brahmana, once he ate him, he would say, Vatapi, Vatapi, he would call. Ilvala used to call him, his brother used to call him, Vatapi, Vatapi. And Vatapi kya karta tha? He used to come out tearing the stomach of the Brahmana and thus killing the Brahmana. So this was the job of the Asuras, these two Asura brothers. So Agastya said, okay, once I have to teach them a lesson. Agastya was one who has drank the whole ocean also once. It's great. That great he is. And when he was asked to release, he released it through his penis, and that is why it is said the seawater is salty. I mean, these are all Shastic Acharyas saying all this. But the story is that the fact is that he drank when the Asuras went and hid in the ocean. Agastya had drank the whole ocean water. So that time it was sweet. So he drank, and then he had released it. So when the Asuras were killed, so the Ilvala went to Agastya Muni and said, "You are invited to a feast at our house. Tomorrow is our ancestral date of Shraddha. Please come." So they used to go. So Agastya went. Agastya knew the plan, but still he went. As usual, he cut Vatapi, cooked him, put it in the food, and gave it to him. He had it. And then when Ilvala said, "Vatapi, Vatapi," shouting, Vatapi is not coming out. Shouting again and again, "Vatapi, come out, come out. Can't you hear me? Come out." That time Agastya Muni just put his hand round the belly and said, "Vatapi jirnam." Vatapi digest ho gaya. So it is said in those era, this was a part of the tradition. Meat eating was not done as a thing, but as a part of the Shraddha ceremony used to be there. But that is also prohibited in Kali Yuga. So in Kali Yuga, at any level and any context, you are not supposed to eat meat. Please continue.
So we can see that the process of worshipping is different in different yugas. In Kali Yuga, lifespan is short and most of the ingredients mentioned in the Shastras are not available. Moreover, we do not have such knowledgeable Brahmanas who can perform such great complicated sacrifices. As it is apparent from this verse, such great rituals could be performed only by kings. These rituals used to take a year or two to perform with lots of expenses. Hence, such rituals are forbidden in Kali Yuga. However,
sorry. In the Ramayana, further it will come. It takes more than a year for the only horse to return. And then they do this sacrifice. And then the best part is, after doing the entire sacrifice, the king is supposed to give away everything to the Brahmanas. That much of dana has to be done. First and foremost, in today's date, hardly anybody will be knowing about those ingredients in detail, or rather the entire procedure of this yagya, or the the mantras for this yagya. You all must have heard about this Vajpayee. We had one earlier Prime Minister, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So the word Vajpayee actually comes from someone in their lineage earlier must have done Vajpayee Yagya. There is a Yagya called Vajpayee Yagya, and he has performed that. That is why that lineage mein wo aa raha hai. Even Vajpayee Yagya was also very, very elaborate and very difficult Yagya, and today 99% of those Brahmanas are vanished. Nobody are existing to ever even recite those mantras or know the procedures. So, and very difficult to get the ingredients also. अगर समझो आपको मंत्र भी मिल गया तो ingredients मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है, because nobody knows how to identify those ingredients also. So that is why these things are forbidden in Kali Yuga. Please continue.
However, in Kali Yuga, one can achieve the same results of performing an Ashwamedha Yajna by simply chanting the holy name of God. It is equally potent and can fulfill all the desires of a person. One may chant the holy name of Sitaram or Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In the Vedas, the mantra mentioned is Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. These 16 names will destroy the evil effects of Kali Yuga. However, this mantra can only be recited by the Brahmanical class and under various strict rules. So, to make it easier for every individual to chant in Kali Yuga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reframed the mantra as Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Or, as all the names of Lord have the same potency, one may chant the above Mahamantra or simply chant Sitaram, and he will gain the benefits. He will gain the same benefits. The holy name can be always chanted by anyone of any gender and age.
That's the best part is, you don't have to call a pujari for that. You don't have to call a Brahmana for that. You know, the simplest and easiest and the cheapest way is chanting. बिना 1 रुपये खर्चा किए. कुछ खर्चा करना पड़ता है? कुछ रुपया खर्चा नहीं. अगर आपके घर पे एक छोटा सा गणपति पूजा भी रखा, पंडित को बुलाओ, मोदक बनाओ, ये बनाओ, फूल लेके आओ, पान लेके आओ, सुपारी लेके आओ, है ना, 101 थिंग्स यू हैव टू डू. एक तो सुबह जल्दी उठना पड़ेगा, नहाना भी पड़ेगा. बेस्ट पार्ट इज चैंटिंग में नहाएगा नहीं तो बेचारा. What else you want? I mean, the most discounted thing in this Kaliyuga is chanting. नहाने की भी जरूरत नहीं. लेटे लेटे करो, खड़े खड़े करो, बैठे बैठे करो, दौड़ते दौड़ते करो, जैसा चाहिए वैसा. But do. The problem is in Kaliyuga, though these many discounts are there, ना, नहीं करेंगे. भारी चीज. So I want something very tough and difficult. Get to something, you know, you ask me to stand on one leg with one hand up and, you know, just eating one time a day. It's something, it's like challenging. It looks nice. It's simple lag raha hai. Just having a holy name, chanting the holy name, just, you know, taking the name of Lord. And tell me one thing. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram बोलने से भगवान कैसे आएंगे? It's like, no, it's always said, or if I chant Coca-Cola, 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 Pepsi, 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 or roti, 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 नहीं मलाई roti, butter roti, butter roti, butter roti. Will I get the taste of butter roti? मेरे मुंह में butter roti आएगा. Pepsi, Pepsi, Pepsi करने से Pepsi आएगा. Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola करने से Coca-Cola आएगा. या आइसक्रीम कुछ भी ले लो, whatever you like. कोई chocolate, 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 chocolate बोलने से chocolate आने वाला नहीं. Then सीताराम बोलने से भगवान का, you know, फायदा या भगवान के गुण या भगवान के लीला स्मरण होंगे, ऐसा कैसा. तो आचार्य से वेरी नाइसली, द बेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ लॉर्ड इज सच्चिदानंद. हिज नेम इज ऑल्सो सच्चिदानंद. हिज बॉडी इज ऑल्सो सच्चिदानंद. यू नेम एवरीथिंग ऑफ गॉड इज सच्चिदानंद. अगर भगवान ने आपको डंडा मारा ना, वो डंडा भी सच्चिदानंद. Because Lord is made of Satchidanand. All the things which he is wearing, his dress is Satchidanand, everything is Satchidanand. So when everything is Satchidanand, his name is also Satchitanand. So you enjoy the same association with God or association with the holy name is having the same. And that is why in Kali Yuga, the biggest discount is simply chant the holy name of the Lord. अश्वमेध यज्ञ का फल भी आपको आसानी से मिल जाएगा. You wouldn't have to face any problem. But another tragedy in Kali Yuga is people have time, energy, they are ready to spend money, hundreds of thousands and lakhs of rupees, but they will not do this simple operation of chanting the holy. So what do we understand from this? In Kali Yuga, in Satyuga, what was happening was correct. That was as per Satyuga. But as per Kali Yuga, one has to chant the holy name of the Lord. Okay, this I like to close today's session. Anybody has got any doubts, questions, can ask.